Okay, welcome to the Chirp Zone. That name is probably getting changed soon. But um today I'm here with my mother and she's going to answer some hockey questions and talk about her hot takes. And we're gonna talk about some of the recent news. So, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Chris. I am Trinity's mother.
Yes. Um, okay. When did you get into hockey?
I got into hockey because of your daddy probably 15 years ago, around his birthday, which is in December, I decided, you know what? I'm going to take him to a hockey game for his birthday. And I was not into hockey, but I thought he loves hockey. I'll take him. Back then, you could go on Craigslist and get the tickets from season ticket holders who were not going to the game. So I found two tickets. I bought two tickets and I knew nothing from there. When we got there, we were two rows from the glass. We were on right at the goal on our attacking end, and you cannot help but get excited when you are watching a live hockey game. And from I was hooked from that moment on. We saw a hat trick that night. It was phenomenal. And so ever since then I've been a diehard Carolina fan.
Yes, that was the next question. Your team. We are a Carolina family.
We are a Carolina family.
So we have the forecast on this podcast where we sit and talk Carolina. That's what it's called. It's called the forecast. And um we've had some interesting words said on the forecast. Okay.
Wow.
So let's get into today's hockey news. Matthew Tkachuk says that he is hungrier for Olympic gold after visiting the Olympic Hall for the US.
You know how I feel about the Kachuk boys.
I do, but they don't.
I mean, you have Kachuk and ugly Kachuk.
I
I,
don't know
I
if I
feel like I feel like there's a lot of hype around them for no reason, especially Brady. He's not even that good of a player, but because he's a Kachuk,
well, their
he
daddy was
gets,
pretty good, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah. But like I said, it's a name. It's not even a skill at this point in time with them. It's a name. Now Matthews got more skill to him than Brady does, but I still feel it's a name more than it is a skill when it comes to them. Where when you say the Hughes brothers, I'm like, that's where it's at. Brothers or Stahl brothers, you're like the skill. But when you say the Kachuk brothers, you're like, so
I feel like Brady Tkachuk is only known because of his dad and his brother.
no, I agree. I agree. And maybe if he was on a different team, we would see the same skill that his brothers got, but he's stuck where he's stuck. And I feel he doesn't have the skill that his brother has. So, like I said, if it was a different team, maybe it'd be a different situation. Who knows?
That's a good point. I was talking with someone the other day about hockey and they said their hot take was that hockey's becoming more of a name sport where all of these people with names of greats are coming in and getting paid a lot just to not do as well. And he brought up Luke Hughes, but I feel like Luke Hughes is getting paid for what he's worth. He's not putting up numbers, but he's also a defenseman.
That's right. And you know, we played them the other night and he fumbled twice, two big fumbles and got goals in his own goal and but when he does stuff like that, you feel sorry for him. You want to say, "Oh, buddy, I'm sorry." And maybe, you know, maybe it's because who his brothers are, but I feel like you don't it's not like that with the Kachuk brothers. When they do something stupid, you're like, "Ha." But Um, but Luke holds his own. He has made a name for himself. He holds his own. It's not just because of who his brothers are. Where I feel like Brady, it's just well, Brady made the Olympic team because Matthew made the Olympic team.
And that's also Quinn and Jack made the Olympic team, but Luke didn't.
That's right. That's right.
But I feel like Luke holds his own better than Brady does.
I agree.
Brady's just known as an enforcer when he's really just a fighter.
Yeah.
He's he fights like we have Nikishin who's an enforcer who is playing the puck while playing physically, where I feel like Brady and the Panthers, well, they're separate, but Brady Kachuk and Matthew Kachuk on the Panthers with the rest of the Panthers are just physical players and their physicality doesn't bring anything to the game.
Yeah, they just like to scrum. They just
You
like
like
to
that word
fight.
now.
I do that commercial has me hooked on the word scrum.
But yeah, their physicality doesn't bring things to the game. Where like Nikishin, that reverse hit on on not Kachuk but Trocheck,
That was
he was trying to
beautiful.
play the puck.
And Trocheck was trying to run through him, and he didn't even. It's not like he even tried. It just he's a force, and it just happened. And Trocheck was trying to run through him, and he was doing his job. And like you said, it just happened so naturally for him, where some of these players, Marchand, uh, fight just to start fights. They do crap like that just to fight.
Yeah, just to fight.
I will
Yeah,
tell
I
you
feel like
one of my hot takes on fighting.
yes,
Goalies need to be able to fight.
goal. I agree with that statement because I feel like there there a lot goes down between goalies and um even if it's not goalie versus goalie, a goalie should be able to fight for himself.
Yeah,
I love the protectiveness of teams and their goalies. Don't get me wrong. I
agree.
love it when a team is protective over their goalie, but I feel like a goalie should be able to hold his own. Now, I do see goalies like cross-checking um like players that are in their crease, but I don't see them like fighting after some like a bad hit or something like that.
Couldn't you see Kochetkov fighting someone?
Oh,
Like,
he almost did.
I
Remember when he
know
poke checked Brady Kachuk?
that would have been glorious, but watching him fight someone would be the bee's knees.
The bee's knees. Now, I did ask you, I'm not asking you right now, but I did ask you if you had another team, but you could not answer the question because you're just a die-hard Carolina fan.
I'm a diehard Carolina fan. I'm sorry. I'm just not one of these that like has lots of players from another team, so that's like my second team. I'm not like that. Now, me, I have a goalie problem. I love all of my goalies, but I don't have another team. Like I'm a diehard Carolina fan. I'll only wear Carolina. I'll only pull for Carolina. Now, if Carolina gets out over the past years that they've not made it all the way to the final, I pick and choose based off of who's playing, who I hate the least,
And
on who I am pulling for.
it's
But
usually a Western team.
yeah, it is. But that's because,
Usually it's the Panthers that are going past
y-
us.
yep, yep. And I don't want anyone that could have beat us to win it anyway. So if we can't win it on the Eastern side, then I prefer someone on the Western side to win it.
Yeah. And okay, my top three, two of them are Western teams. So we only see them like twice a year. They only have the opportunity to play us twice a year.
If I had to choose, if I had to choose another team, It would probably be Colorado.
Colorado's good. They're on fire this year.
They are on so much on fire. But if someone said Carolina is no more, who is your team? It would be Colorado.
Speaking of Colorado, Landeskog is currently out on a upper body injury. His Olympic status is unclear.
That poor man. That poor man. Because what he spent 2 years out, came back, and now he's hurt again just in enough time for the Olympic season after everything that he's done.
Yeah, because
Like,
he's Swedish, so he would have been able to play for the Four Nations if he had been in.
mhm.
He probably would have made the roster because
Oh,
if
for
I'm not
sure.
mistaken, he's good.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
he would have made the roster, but he didn't come back until the playoffs.
Right.
I think versus Dallas. So the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, he was out and he had been out for almost 2 years. So I hate that to see him hurt again after fighting such an injury to get back. And now he's hurt again.
He crashed into the goal.
Yeah, we know how I saw that. And we know how that took Jarvie out for about a month.
Yeah, he lost his footing. It was versus the Florida Panthers. I saw versus the Florida Panthers and I thought someone had hurt him, but I read a little further and it says that he crashed into the goal.
Yeah, that goalpost man.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just minor, like it was with Jarvie, like maybe some busted ribs or something, and he'll be back up and running. But it that still doesn't mean he'll be ready for the Olympics because the Olympics are in less than a month.
Yeah, they're in less than a
So
month. They're in it's I think it starts a month from today, I think.
the sixth, it's either the fourth or the sixth.
I think it's the 6th.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it would need to be something that's just a couple weeks. It's just a nagging and not a true injury for him to be good to come back for the Olympics. I tell you one thing, I hope Slavin can get himself back up and running in the next month to be on that Olympic team because he deserves it. I hate that we've missed him all season pretty much. And he is on the ice. He's just wearing yellow.
Yes, he's in no contact.
He's in no contact, but so hopefully that means that he's good and they're saving him for the Olympics and then he'll come back and play on the team after the Olympics. I would even be okay for that. Like even if he's good, but he's not playing on the team right now because he's on the Olympic roster, I would be okay with that because the team has stepped up.
Yeah.
Carolina has stepped up, Nikishin has stepped up. All of our defensemen have really stepped up in his absence and held it in. And I know he's got to be proud of
Newstrom's done
them.
pretty good as well.
Yes.
He's who we called up for Jacob Slavin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nikishin was going to be on the team either way.
Yeah, but they've all had to take a different approach to
And a
this
different
season.
partner, I guess.
Yeah.
Or whoever's Slavin's partner has a different partner right now. And D partners are very like it starts with a C.
Consistent.
No, not consistent. Maybe it doesn't start with a C. It's like togetherness,
They
like
don't change them up.
they don't change them up, no, because of it's on the tip of my tongue. I cannot think of it. Well, because of chemistry.
Yeah.
They're very chemistry based. It did start with a C.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very, you have to have a lot of chemistry. Like a lot of PWHL, there's quite a few of them dating.
Right.
You partners. Like I just heard a story about one of them. PWHL is crazy. They're just as good as the NHL.
Them girls got it going on.
They do. I am a PWHL stan in this house, but um, getting into like a fight over her girlfriend and her defensive partner, like they're both. And then there are girlfriends on other teams and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Good for them.
Oh yeah. I wish hockey could be as open, like men's hockey could be as open. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking with this heated rivalry coming out, there Francois, the guy who plays Hunter,
Hmm.
Scott Hunter, the guy who plays Scott Hunter says that NHL agents have told him, not naming names, but told him that some of their clients go through the same thing that Scott Hunter had to go through. So I'm hoping that this heated rivalry coming out and having such good, like, it's kind of not having super good response right now because of the way the fans are, but it's also had really good response from the fans and stuff. So I'm hoping the good response will open it up more to have more conversation within the NHL of coming out and having open relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just wish it would be, you know, I when they decided that when you have some of these players that are coming out for the whole Pride night and are like, hockey needs to just be that it's hockey. I can agree with that. Hockey is hockey, but you don't hide the fact that you have a wife and children, do you?
Nope.
So why would someone need to hide the fact that they have a boyfriend or a husband or whatever? Because if hockey is supposed to be about hockey, then family nights on the ice wouldn't be a thing. Uh, you know what I mean? Like all of the charity work that they do wouldn't be a thing. Hockey is about inclusiveness and every community,
Yes.
not just the straight community. And so I feel like, and some of the players that have even on our team have said, I don't want to wear the pride jersey. I don't want to do the pride tape because I feel like it's taken away from the game. And I can appreciate everyone having their own opinion. Everyone has their own opinion, and that's great, but just like you have your own opinion, so does everyone else. But if you say hockey is hockey and it should be about the game, then all of the other stuff that the teams do, all of the stuff they do revolving around families and charities, that's not the game.
I was about to say
That's
they don't want to wear the pride jerseys, but they wear the purple jerseys during cancer night and the military jerseys during military night.
that's right. That's right. If you're going to do one, you got to do them all. You can't pick and choose. And I thought that over the past couple of years, they took a couple steps back over the past 2 years. They had come a long way, but then they've taken a couple steps back. So hopefully, I hope heated rivalry will open up a couple of eyes and make people realize that you can have one of the best players on the ice, and just because they're an amazing hockey player doesn't mean that they are straight, but
Yeah.
they're hiding. You know what I mean? So hopefully, it will open up some doors for some players, and it just takes one. It just takes one brave soul, and
There is
then
an out player in the AHL,
okay.
an AHL level player or ECHL, one of the two. One of the lower leagues, there is an out player that plays hockey. And if I'm not mistaken, he's pretty good. Um, but yeah, you're right. It just takes one person, really, or one big name, really. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not me saying that any of the big names are gay, but one person that's relatively known
Mm-hmm.
and it can open up a whole world. Because the same way little kids of color want to see players that represent them, small queer kids who don't know what's happening, don't know what they're going through, if they see a hockey player who is explaining exactly what they're going through, that could help a lot.
I agree.
But it gets different when it gets a little different. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Um Bedard is still injured, but he's at practice.
Is he in no contact?
Um I don't think so.
Hmm.
Wore a gray jersey at practice, meaning he participated in some drills but not all, and left the ice prior to finishing. He's missed
Mm.
11 games and he's outdated it.
So maybe it's just something nagging that they don't want to go back too soon.
Yeah. But I've said this, not had this conversation because I'm a solo podcaster, but I've said this. I feel like Bedard had so much pressure put on him as a rookie, and he is still a rookie,
Yep.
but that I feel like he's not performing to his best potential because obviously he had potential coming into his first year. He was the first pick. Where you see Macklin Celebrini, who came into this amazing community. He lives with the Thorntons, where he used to. His rookie year, he lived with Joe Thornton,
Right.
and Will Smith also lived with another Sharks great, who still lives in San Jose. And they took them in. The same thing's happening with Matthew Schaefer. The Martins, he was taken in. Where
Yep.
I don't remember seeing this happen with Bedard.
I don't remember it either, but he had so much rust upon him like from the beginning. Like there was so much anticipation and what they expected of him. It was so great. And I don't know if the pressure got to him or if he really wasn't as good as they thought he was, but he seems to not be handling it very well.
I also wouldn't be handling it very well if I was on the Chicago Blackhawks. So
This is true. This is very true. That's probably the worst part. That's the one thing that sucks about
the
the
first
way
pick,
the first pick gets picked is you always feel it's like they're the best ones. That's why they're the first pick, but you always feel so bad for them because of who got them.
it's always a bottom 16.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand how the draft works, basically the first round is picked by a lottery. The first 16 picks are picked by a lottery, and the very worst team on the in the league at that year has the highest chances of getting the first pick. So if the Sharks were number 32, the Sharks have the highest chance of getting the first pick. If you made the playoffs, you have no chance of getting the first pick.
That is correct.
So last year, the Islanders got it, and the year before, the Sharks got it. And then the year before that, the Chicago Blackhawks. So, and I mean, I feel like it also really depends on the environment you're going into because Macklin Celebrini went into it with another person his age going into the San Jose Sharks, which I think Will either got picked first round or second round. It depends. I don't know if the Sharks traded for any first round picks, but he got picked. And so they went into that together. Like they've been best friends ever since. And they knew each other from playing against each other before. Like they had been like, I think one was Boston College, one was Boston University, something
Will
like that.
Smith was drafted fourth overall.
So the
He's
Sharks had traded for a pick.
hmm
Does it say who was supposed to have his pick? Hmm. I knew he was drafted pretty
yeah,
early on,
fourth.
fourth.
Hmm.
But like Will Smith, Macklin Celebrini, and Matthew Schaefer all. had really good environments that they came into. So I feel like that's something better. Like the Toffolis are like the parents of Macklin and Will.
Yeah.
So, which Kat Toffoli has a podcast too, and she's super cool. She has it with a Red Wings player's wife. So it's another player's wife, but they have a podcast and they're super cool. Matthew Schaefer's done pretty good. He's in the running for the Calder. He's among favorites for the Calder.
He's such a little cutie patootie.
He is. I do like him. And then one other thing, two other things. Shesterkin is out with a lower body injury, and
Hate
they are
that for
both
him
both him and Fox are out on long term injured reserve.
on LIR.
Or defenseman is on LIR, the goalie is on IR.
Okay.
So they're both out on lower body. And then Hayden Fleury was taken from the ice on a stretcher after colliding with the boards and a VGK player. I believe it was VGK.
I hate to see that. Like whenever that's just so scary. And sometimes you don't and it's so hard to know if it's because if it's precautionary or if like he's really really hurt. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like
Like it's precautionary, something could go bad with his legs, he just can't walk. Or if, do you remember when Dougie Hamilton's knee went backwards?
yeah.
That was bad.
I like Hayden Fleury. I liked him when he played for us.
Yeah, I remember him playing for us, and I remember asking if him and Marc Andre were related. They
Looks
are
like
not.
there's an update. Winnipeg Jets defenseman has been transported. Okay, so an hour ago, he was transported to the hospital via ambulance. He was fully alert and moving his extremities upon departure. The team will provide more information when they have it. That the Jets updated Instagram with that an hour ago.
That's good. So
Yeah,
he's moving and
but they
alert.
but it's one of those things you right like are they taking him to do scans as precautionary or is there something wrong and he's going to the hospital, right? So
Yeah,
you unfortunately you don't know and it's let's see what this hip looked like or what this ooh
something's wrong.
he slid backwards into the board head. He
Oh,
slid on his back backwards and his neck went.
Ford.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. So there's definitely some scans being done, some X-rays.
Yeah, he looked like he was in pain from the moment it happened. I hate to see that.
Yeah, it
I don't
sucks.
care what team you're with. And the injury bug has been crazy this year for most of the teams. Like all the teams have had some major injuries to major players too, like
Matthew
big
Kachuk,
players. Yeah.
Igor
Yep.
Shesterkin,
Mm-hmm.
Seth Jarvis.
Jacob Slavin.
Yep. Who should be a lot bigger than he is.
Oh yeah, for
And it's
sure.
just
We
because he
all know
doesn't put
that.
up the points.
Yeah, but he's one hell of a defenseman.
So I think that brings us to the end. Unless you have any final things you want to say.
I do not.
So that was today's episode of the Chirp Zone. I forgot my own name for a second. That was today's episode of the Chirp Zone. Oh, what should we title this episode?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Chirp chirps with mama.
Chirps with Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll call it that. So that was Chirps with Mama on January 6th, 2026. Halfway through the season. We'll have to get you back on here at the end of the season.
Yep, we'll do it when Carolina wins the cup.
When Carolina wins the cup. All right. Okay, bye.
Bye.